Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are doing part 2 of my beginner brush series that I did. If you did not catch the first video, I will link it below so you can go and watch that. But in this video, we're going to be going over all of the eye brushes and tools that I think a beginner needs for their collection to start and or replace some of the brushes that they have or add or whatever the case may be. All of the brushes that I have today are very affordable and they're very easy to find. I will link them all below in the description box if you are interested, and let's get started. Okay, we're first going to start off with Eco Tools. Well, that sounded really weird. Eco Tools. You can find these at Walmart, at Target, at Walgreens. You can find them lots of places. I will link them all below like I said. I have their Enhancing Eye Set, and it comes with 2 brushes that are both dual-ended, and the purpose of these, somebody's coughing downstairs. The purpose of these 2 brushes is that you have all 4 brushes that you need to do in a complete eye look, which I think is genius and perfect for beginners. One brush has an angled brush on the end, which I would use to fill in my eyebrows, which I do use to fill in my eyebrows. That's perfect for that. And then the other side has a perfect little round flat brush to put on eyeshadow. Then on the other brush, you have a blending brush on one end, which is perfect for putting a transition shade into the crease or just blending out a shade that you put on your lid. And then the other side has a smudger brush. So you can smudge underneath your eyes, you can smudge liner on your upper lash line, whatever you need to smudge out, you have that. So I think all in all, I don't remember how much this is, I will put it down below, but for, I think it was less than $10, you get a complete set to do your eyes, which is very simple, easy to follow, so yeah. I have one random brush to mention, and it's from Lab Squared or LAB Squared. You can find these at Walmart in the brush section by the makeup. This is the Beyond a Shadow of a Doubt brush. It's just a big fluffy brush to put eyeshadow on your lid. These are really well made brushes, and they're at Walmart, and they have a whole bunch of them, except I had a couple and I think I lost them, but it's alright. But I just wanted to mention these because these are great brushes for the price, and you can easily find them at Walmart, so I wanted to mention those. Next we're going to E.L.F, which I love E.L.F because E.L.F is ridiculously cheap, like ridiculously cheap. I was in my Target the other day and they have expanded the entire E.L.F section, and I was just like, oh my gosh, like they have skincare and brushes and tons of makeup. I mean, it was just like crazy. I was like, wow, love that. Anyways, I just have a few brushes. I think these range from $1, $2, $3, and then they go up, I think, after that. I have a couple that are $1 and then one that is $3. This is, I'm gonna start with the $3 brush and get it out of the way. This is the E.L.F blending brush, and I think this is perfect for deepening up the outer V of your eye, adding some depth into your crease. This is a perfect brush for it, and for $3, I think any beginner needs to add this into their collection. Next, I'm going on to my $1 brushes. This is the E.L.F Professional Eyeshadow Brush, and it's just a tiny kind of rounded flat brush to apply eyeshadow to your lid, and it does what it says it's gonna do. You can really pack on a lot of color with this brush if you get it wet with Fix Plus, or water works the same way, or sometimes I even use setting spray, and if you wet your brush and then dip it into an eyeshadow, the color payoff is completely different on your lid, and I really like using that brush. This brush for that. Why can't I not speak? Next we have the E.L.F Professional Blending Eye Brush. Now I would not use this brush to go in originally with a transition shade because it's just not very big and fluffy. This is more dense and compact and small. I wouldn't even really call this a blending brush, or just call this more like a round brush or a smudger brush, I don't know. But yeah, I would just use this to add a dark color to the outer part of my eye. You could also use this to smudge colors underneath your eye, and I think it's good to have on hand also. And I think E.L.F now has a smudger brush in their collection. If you look for it, I just don't own it because I have a different smudger brush that I really like. But if you were there and you were picking out E.L.F brushes, I think they have a smudger brush and it looked pretty good. So Now we have the E.L.F. Professional Defining Eye Brush. Now this is just an angled shader brush. You could do a multitude of things with this. You could put on eyeshadow, you could deepen up the outer V, you could put eyeshadow underneath your eye. This is a very versatile brush for that. So I just wanted to mention it because I think that for $1, you might as well add it to your collection to have on hand. And like I said, it's really versatile, so it's always good to have around. Next, we're moving on to Morphe brushes, and if you don't know what Morphe brushes are, they are fabulous brushes. You have to order them online. That is a downfall. There are some Morphe stores, but I think there's like 2 in the whole United States or something like that. Not very many, but if I could ever go to a Morphe store, I'd be like in heaven. But I ordered all mine online, and I will list them all below, so you can definitely find them on their website. They're very affordable, and they're probably the best quality that I've seen out of a more affordable brush company. These are amazing. We're going to start off with the blending brushes. Oh, and before I forget to mention, if you follow a lot of YouTubers, usually they give you discount codes to get money off on Morphe.com. So usually you can just, you know, kind of type it into YouTube or type it into Google and find a discount code to get money off. Yeah. Alright, with the blending brushes, we're going to start off with the one I think if you're going to buy any of them, you should buy this one. This is the Morphe M441 brush, and it's just the perfect blending brush to go in with any transition shade, blend out any kind of look. It's perfect. This is more of a round brush. It's round and domey, so whenever you apply eyeshadow to your crease, it blends it out perfectly, and this is like, you just need this brush, like you have to have it. Okay, now a brush that is very similar to that one is the Morphe M433 brush. Now the difference between this brush and the last brush I showed you is the other one was round and this one is more flat and then round on the top. So this reminds me a lot of the E.L.F blending brush, to where it's more flat and you would use it just to deepen up your outer crease or your outer V of your eye, and that's what I normally use this for. Or I keep this one clean, and so whenever I use my other one, I go in with my original transition shade, and then I put on other colors, put on my lid shade and all of that, I go back in with this one that is clean, and I will blend everything out with a clean brush. Okay, now we have the Morphe M200 brush. Now this is a lot like the first brush I showed you from Morphe, except this one is a lot smaller and is a lot more condensed. So whenever you pick up a color with this shade, it's going to go on a lot fuller, a lot more vibrantly, as I would say. I usually only grab this brush when I'm going in with a dark shade in my crease, and I like, say, a black or a dark brown or a purple, something that is really dark. Why can I not breathe? I don't know. I'm like out of breath. Anyways, so yeah, you take this into your crease and it will diffuse a darker color easier, and usually I will use a brush like this to pick up a dark shade, wipe it off on the back of my hand, go into my crease a little bit to place the color, and then I would go back in with one of those other blending brushes I've showed you and blend it out effortlessly. Next we have the Morphe M138 brush. This is like the last brush I showed you, except a lot shorter. This is perfect, like perfect for blending an orange shade or a light brown shade underneath your eyes to set up, you know, layering underneath your eyes for smoky looks and whatnot. This is great. You could. Next, I have a couple eyeshadow brushes, and one of my favorite ones is this dual-ended brush. It's the Morphe M156 brush. On one end, it has a little flat eyeshadow brush, and the other end, it has an eyeliner brush. I rarely reach for the eyeliner brush, but I love this eyeshadow brush to place a color on your lid. It is perfect. You can get it wet and it just really packs a punch, and it's small so you can really carve out your eyelid if you want to. And also I like to use this brush for if I'm doing a cut crease look. Hee hee, Valentine's Day. This brush is perfect to pick up concealer and then carve out my eye where I'm going to be placing glitter or eyeshadow or whatever. The next one I have is the Morphe M166 brush. This is just a flat shader brush. You can do so many things with this brush. You can put eyeshadow on your lid. You can highlight underneath your brow bone. You can highlight in the inner corners of your eye. You can just do so many things with this brush. It's very versatile, and yeah, I think everybody needs one of these. Now, the last brush I have is the Morphe B16 brush. It's the tiniest brush I own, but it's a smudger brush. I think this was literally like $2 or something like that. Something crazy cheap. And I use it probably like every day. I love it. It's so tiny, but it picks up a lot of product. So most of the time I'll put it in some eyeshadow and then I'll wipe it off on the back of my hand just like I do pretty much everything else. And then go underneath my eyes with this and then go in with a brush like the Morphe M138 like I showed you to buff it out. Alright, now that I'm done talking about eyeshadow brushes, we're going to talk about some tools and eye tools that I think every person needs kind of in their makeup collection or their makeup area or their makeup bag. Yeah, the first thing is an eyelash curler. You're probably thinking like, duh, everybody needs an eyelash curler. Not everybody uses eyelash curlers, which I think is kind of crazy, but they have like curled eyelashes. I don't know. This one's from Tarte. It's the Tarte eyelash curler. You can buy them at Ulta, and they usually come with a little free mascara. This is my second one. They are amazing. Like when I say an eyelash curler is amazing, this is amazing. I think the reason that I like it so much is when you look at it and you look at the arch of where your eye goes, it's not very deep. It's kind of more straight than other ones. Other eyelash curlers can look like a big U, and when you put that on your eye and your eye is longer, that like kind of cuts your eyelashes off, and that's when your eyelashes can catch and they can pull your eyelashes out, and that's just no good. This is also perfect for whenever you have fake eyelashes on. These go around it really well. The next thing I want to talk about is an eyebrow brush. I could not tell you where I got this one or what, but one side of it's an eyebrow brush, the other side had, hint on the had, eyelash combs on it, but they've all broken off over the years. But there are brushes that look just like this. I saw some when I was at Target, I saw some when I was at Walmart, and they're by themselves, and they're usually longer, like a normal brush. Anyways, these are perfect for whenever you put product into your eyebrows and then you want to go through and blend it out, comb it out, keep them tamed. You just go through with one of these things and it's good to go. You could also use the spoolie that's on the end of, like, say, an eyebrow pencil. Those work really good too. The next thing we have is a pair of tweezers. Everybody needs tweezers. Pull out eyebrows, fake boogers, put your fake eyelashes on. They're great for a multitude of things. I think I got mine at TJ Maxx for like $4. The Tweezer Man ones run around like $20 or something crazy like that. Now if you want to go crazy and buy one of those, go ahead. If not, I suggest looking at TJ Maxx, Ross, Walmart, gas station. I have no idea. But for a cheap pair of tweezers, those are always good to have around. The next tool is a little pair of nail scissors, which these came in a little set that I had gotten from somewhere, but I take them out and I leave them in my makeup drawer, and whenever I need to cut some eyelashes, cut into a product, cut into who knows what, I use these to trim my eyebrows. These are just great to have on hand at all times in case you need to, you know, cut somebody. Yeah. Alright, so now we have this little, I call it an eyelash brush, but whatever. This used to be a mascara wand and I just took it and washed it off. I use this to comb through my eyelashes before I put on mascara, and whenever I put on mascara and say there's like a little bit of clumping, I go through and comb that out so my lashes are all separated and good to go. Now this was free because I'd obviously already paid for that mascara and I just washed it off. But if you don't want to do that, there's another option. That LAB squared brand that I mentioned, I think I found these at Ulta though. I'm not sure if they have these at Walmart. This is just a package of disposable mascara wands, and they come in all shapes and sizes in here, and you get a lot. You get like a whole handful, and I think I've used like 3 out of this whole box so far. So they last a long time. You can always wash them off and reuse them. Yeah, these work the same way, but if you don't have a mascara wand that you like and want to wash off and use, you can definitely go and find some of these. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at XOXO_EmilyW, and be sure to check in next week on Thursday for my Valentine's video.
Yeah, so this is perfect for blending. Excuse mine for being dirty. I used it. It's Corinne from The Bachelor. I'm sorry I took a nap. I'm sorry I used my eyeshadow brush. If you watch The Bachelor, holla, love that show. It's an amazing show.